For those of you who don't know, the PDC Order of Merit is on a 2-year running system, so any prize money that was accumulated by any of the players back in 2023 is now up for grabs this year. I'll probably say that that's only applicable in the 7 major ranking tournaments, that being the UK Open, the Match Play, the Grand Slam, the Grand Prix, the European Championship, the Players' Championship Finals, and the World Championship. Any prize money that's won in the European Tour or the Pro Tour, I believe that's kept. So once you've got that money on the Pro Tour, the Euro Tour, that's it, you've got your money forever. So yeah, it is going to be possible for some players to lose their prize money this year that they got on from 2 years ago, and for some players it is catastrophic if they do not keep a hold of at least most of this prize money. Basically what this video is me going through the 20 players who made at least a semi-final a couple of years ago and do have lots of prize money to defend this year around. Now originally what I was going to do is I was going to include the quarterfinals, because I assumed that, you know, being in at least a quarterfinal meant that you then have to defend that prize money for some. That was my thinking. But then, for example, I saw Richie Burnett, albeit hasn't got his tour card anymore, still had 15 grand from the UK Open 2 years ago because he made the quarterfinals. Yet when I go on the live Order of Merit yesterday, he's only got half of that money. So I don't know if he loses money for losing his tour card. I don't know how that happens. I don't know if that's how it works or not. But I was like, you know what? To make it easier, I'll just go through this all the semi-finalists and above, because I mean it'll be a much shorter video anyway. So yeah, there are 20 players who made at least a semi-final or better in all 7 of the major tournaments from 2023. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through these players, see how much prize money they've got to defend, and any potential new rankings they could get. Now, I want to just preface that the new rankings that I'm going to give the players is complete worst case scenario. So this is only going to be if the players get knocked out in the first round and then don't earn a single penny from the rest of the year, that being in Players' Championships, the European Tour, if they qualify for it, or again qualifying for a tournament, because again if you qualify for a tournament you then get a certain amount of money anyway. So yeah, again, those new rankings are complete worst case scenarios, but it gives a brief idea of how bad this year could be for some players, and some players definitely got it much worse than others. So what I'm going to do is as well, I'm going to go through in tournament order. So I'm going to start with the UK Open, working my way through tournaments in the chronological order that happened, and then at the very end, because we've got 5 players who have got prize money from multiple tournaments, we're going to go through them guys at the very end. So we're only going to start off with singular players who only got prize money from one tournament and work our way through. So starting off with the UK Open, we do have Dimitri van den Berg and Adam Gorlas, who are both defending £30,000 because they were the 2 semi-finalists. Adam Gorlas has lost his tour card. I'm not sure if he's going back to Q School. I didn't see his name in the EU Q School. I mean, maybe I just didn't catch his name. So at the moment, it doesn't even matter about his prize money because he hasn't got a tour card to actually get it. So he'll probably end up losing it anyway. So yeah, if Adam Gorlas, let's just say, if he was going to get his tour card back, and he did lose all the £30,000 from the UK Open, then he would drop currently from being number 76 in the world down to the worst case scenario being the number 95. Now again, this is all based on the fact that this is if they lose all the prize money that they've got from this tournament and then don't pick up a single penny. As of which, it's unlikely that's going to be the case. Obviously, all these players on this list are pretty much going to get some sort of money at some point from, you know, again, from Pro Tours, European Tours, you know, again, qualifying for tournaments, stuff like that. So yeah, it's not, again, these are worst case scenarios. And for Dimitri van den Berg, who looks as though he's going to be in the Premier League this year, he's number 18 currently ranked in the PDC, yet if he loses all of his prize money from the UK Open, he could drop down to number 22 at the moment. Again, pretty bad. And it's kind of crazy how a player who was ranked outside the top 20 could be in the Premier League this year, which is kind of wild. And then after that, we do have the UK Open champion from 2023, Andrew Gilding. He obviously won the UK Open, so he's got the £110,000 to defend. And again, if he was to lose all that, he would be down to number 29 in the world from being number 20, which is quite a lot. And if you consider the fact, but obviously Andrew Gilding is a top 32 player, so that means he will come in at the 4th round. So that means he will be getting some prize money anyway. So he won't be losing the entire £110,000, but to be fair, I think it's unlikely that he'll make it very far. Again, I just don't see that happening for him. So yeah, already UK Open again, which is probably, I think, got the least amount of prize money. In the when you're talking about, actually, I think it's tied with the Players Championship Finals. But yeah, literally other than that, literally got the fewest prize money yet. It's got some pretty big stakes already. Then moving on to the World Match Play, and the only two players for the Match Play who have got prize money to defend from just a tournament were the two finalists, starting off with Johnny Clayton, who's currently 1-7. He's got £100,000 to defend from finishing second in the World Match Play. And again, if he was to lose all of that and then pick up no money whatsoever, he would drop again all the way down to number 22 in the world. And again, this is only based on if Clayton fails to qualify for the Match Play, which I think is probably going to be unlikely because he is obviously well in the top 16. But again, if he loses it all, it could be down to number 22, which is a very, very low position. And then moving on to the winner of the Match Play 2 years ago, Nathan Aspinall. Now, Aspinall is one of the players on this list who, if he was to lose his prize money from the tournament, it could be very consequential in his ranking. He's currently number 11 in the world, and already dropped down 7 places from last year. He was number 4 in the world this time last year. He's now down to number 11 because he lost his money from the Grand Prix and the Grand Slam finals he made back in 22. So if he's going to lose more money from the Match Play, by the man he got £200,000 for winning the Match Play, if he was to lose all of that, Nathan Aspinall would only just be inside the top 32. He'll be number 32 in the world, which for a player who's been in the top 16 for the last 6 years, to have all of a sudden then be down barely in the top 32, which is wild as well, especially for a player who is so prevalent in the Premier League as well, Nathan Aspinall. But yeah, unfortunately for him, he's got loads of prize money to defend, and the way things are going at the moment, I can't see him winning the Match Play again. I mean, then again, it's very, obviously, it takes 6 months away, so it's very early to tell, but yeah, we've got, again, Luke Humphries is a much better player now than what he was. Obviously, Luke Littler's around as well, so you got, more players coming up who are going to challenge the Asp, and as you know, I am a Nathan Aspinall fan, so I'm a little worried, not going to lie. And again, obviously, he won't lose the entire £200,000, because he will see, it's like he still be, I can't speak. It'll be likely that he will still be in the top 16 come the Match Play, so he'll qualify for that anyway, which is probably good because his floor forms is abysmal. Then moving on to the Grand Prix, again, only 2 players who've only got money from the tournament. First off being Michael Smith, who knows first hand how devastating it can be to lose all your prize money from last year. Obviously, won the Grand Slam and the World Championship back in 22/23, lost all and literally that worst case scenario I was talking about before, where he loses first round. That's literally what happened to Michael Smith. Obviously, he got knocked down the group stage of the Grand Slam, lost his prize money there. Then got knocked down the first round of the world, lost prize money there, so he's now down to number 17 in the world. And he's got even more prize money to defend this year with being a Grand Prix semi-finalist back in 23. Not as much money as Grand Slam and Worlds, though. Only 40,000 here to defend, which again, there's literally going to be 2 majors played by this point anyway, so if Michael Smith has a good run in one of those 2, he might end up being back in the top 16. But again, complete worst case scenario, Michael Smith has another pretty bad year, gets knocked out first round of the Grand Prix, he loses 40 grand, he could be down to number 21 in the world. It was pretty bad there. And then the runner-up from the Grand Prix 2 years ago, Gerwyn Price, again down to number 9 in the world, the lowest he's been for quite some time, and he's got 60 grand to defend. And again, if he has a pretty poor year, he can end up being number 15 in the world, which to be fair is not actually that consequential. Yes, he's out of the top 10, but he's still in the top 16, and that's pretty much most of the prize money he's got left, really, because I think after this, hasn't got much prize money to develop. Obviously, he's chances got some from the World quarterfinals, but over the night, he's got nothing, really, so I don't think he'll be too worried about that. Then moving on to the European Championship, again, we've got 3 players. Here we've got Jan van Veen, who's now broken into the top 32, he's now number 27 in the world. Semi-finalist at the European, so that means he's got 40 grand to defend. If he loses all that, could end up being down number 33, so he can end up just completely redoing all the hard work he's put on. Again, Danny Noppert, currently number 13 in the world. Again, 40 grand to defend, could end up being down again number 22 in the world, which seems to be a pretty common theme at the minute, because there's a bit of a gap between Ross Smith and Monch in the prize money at the minute. And then at the European Championship victor from 2 years ago, Peter Wright, who was number 17 in the world, now back up to number 12, could end up losing it all again. He's got to minimum make the final to not have so much of a big loss. But again, Peter Wright, If he loses all the European prize money, he's then down to number 26 in the world. Crazy stuff. Then onto the Grand Slam, only one player from the top 4 was only top 4 for the Grand Slam. The other 3 were all doing it elsewhere. Stephen Bunting, world number 5, has again 50 grand to defend from getting the Grand Slam semi-finals. But I mean, he's probably got one of the least consequential things in this whole video. Again, if he loses that money, he only goes down to number 7 in the world. So, and that's not already counting the prize money that he's probably already got from the 3 tournaments prior to that. Sorry, the 4 tournaments prior to that as well. So, not bad for Stephen Bunting there. Then on to the Players' Championship Finals. Gabriel Clemens actually lost his prize money from the World Championship this year, so he's now down to number 37 in the world. Got another 30 grand hit to try and keep at Minehead. Again, if he to be fair, a chance he might not even qualify for Minehead. You know, again, if his floor form's not too good. I mean, again, if he loses 30 grand, he goes on 1 spot to number 38. So it's not horrific, but you know, for a player who was Germany's number 2, likelihood is he probably will be missing out the World Cup now this year as well. Big time for Gabriel Clemens. In the world, Ryan Joyce, another player who recently broke in the top 32. Again, 30 grand from the Players' Championship Finals. If he loses that, he's then back down to number 34, which is where he was before the Worlds. So again, all his hard work's been done there as well. And then moving on to the World Championship, Scott Williams as well, obviously made these semi-finals back in 2024 now. And obviously again, you know, that works, obviously 23/24. 100 grand to defend. If he loses all that, if he gets knocked out first round, he will then be down to number 48 in the world, which is nuts. Absolutely mental to think about. And then of course Luke Littler. We're already getting into territory where Luke Littler's having to defend prize money. It's crazy big, and this is like a year like a year away. And the likelihood is he probably will end up defending it anyway, so it's not too bad. Obviously, runner up at the last World Championship, 200 grand there. But again, if he loses that, he stays in number 2, and that's literally not already banking on the fact he probably might have already picked up another title, and another major title at this point already. So that's that. And then moving on to the 5 players who've got multiple tournaments to defend prize money from. First up, start off with Michael van Gerwen. He's got prize money from both the UK Open and the Players' Championship Finals. Runner up in both of those, he's got around about £110,000 in total to defend. But again, if he loses all that, worst case scenario, he's still number 3. So, that's pretty mental. Joe Cullen, similar to Nathan Aspinall, a player who's got quite a bit on the line if he doesn't just defend his prize money as well, again, from the match play and the Grand Prix. So Joe Cullen no longer in the top 16 as well, so he's not guaranteed to be at the match play at the moment, and the Grand Prix a little bit later on in the year, but again, he's not guaranteed to be there at the moment. Semi-finals for both of those tournaments last year, so around about 90 grand total to defend. If he loses all that, he could be down to number 33 in the world. So Joe Cullen could be another big massive exodus from the top 32. Rob Cross, obviously runner up at the Grand Slam semi-finals at the World Championship, so he's got around about 170 grand to defend. Loses all that, could be number 22 with Rob Cross. James Wade, currently number 15. He got obviously was the runner-up at the European Championship, and then obviously in the semi-finals at the Grand Slam. He's got around about £110,000 to defend as well. He could be down to number 26 if he has all that to defend. And then finally, the big one, Luke Humphries has got prize money from 5 tournaments to defend this year, which is mental. 4 which he won as well, which is even crazy. So he's got match play, semi-finals to match play, then the winner of the Grand Prix, the Grand Slam, the Players' Championship Finals, and the World Championship. Luke Humphries roughly has in total around about, do quick maths here, 39. Luke Humphries got around about £930,000 to defend, so like around about 900 grand of prize money to defend. Currently world number 1, no longer world champion, but is now number 1. Again, literally, if Luke Humphries loses all of his prize money, which to be fair, I doubt he will. You know, he's good enough to get it all back. If he gets knocked out in the first round of every single tournament this year and gets another doesn't get a single penny from anything else, and loses half of his current prize money, worst case scenario, he'll still be world number 2. Luke Humphries has got the most prize money ever picked up by one player at one time. Like, he could still be the first player to hit £2 million in prize money by the time the match play rolls around. Because if he does well, if he wins the UK Open, for example, and then does well on the floor in the Euro Tour, he can surpass £2 million. It's crazy. But yeah, again, if he loses half his prize money and gets nothing else, he can still be in the top 3, which is just crazy. So yeah, it's a way more for Luke Humphries because he's got by far the most prize money to defend, and by far the most tournaments. Yeah, he's probably, like, other than Littler, Van Gogh, and Stephen Buttons, he's probably got the least consequential outcome. And again, we all know Luke Humphries, like Luke Littler, like Michael Van Gogh, and they are good enough players to defend the prize money. It's only other people like Nathan Aspinall, Peter Wright, Johnny Clayton, Scott Williams, Joe Cullen, who's got bunches of prize money to defend this year. It's only those players where you're like, yeah, you can't see it happening, and they could lose all the prize money, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, that's it for the video. It's just a video I just wanted to share, just giving you guys an idea of which players could end up slipping down the rankings this year if literally everything went right again. I want to say that these are the complete worst case scenarios, and again, that's also not incorporating the fact that some players could also do well. Obviously, likes of Dave Chisnell, obviously one of the mistakes. He hasn't got any prize money to defend this year. He could have a rare run at a tournament. He fucking never does, but he could. As well, likes of he's one of them rate. Damon Hetter, Chris Dobie. That they've got like minimal prize money to defend. Obviously, they were both quarter finalists this year, but again, not much to defend really. So there's players who they're like, what, I could make my way back up the ranking again. Michael Smith is currently number 17. Will join 16 for Josh Rock, but Josh Rock's behind, above him in the rankings. I'm counting Michael Smith as number 17. Michael Smith could easily climb back up the rankings this year, just by other players losing the prize money, which is pretty crazy to think about. It's just how Stephen Bunting's now one with 5. That's how he's got up so high. Same with Chizzy. To be fair though, Chizzy's had very good years on the Pro Tour, Euro Tour. That's how he's got his prize money, which is just crazy. Literally, Dave Chisnell, literally, like, other than I think he's got like 50 grand from the World Championship quarterfinals. Other than that, all the prize money from the fucking Pro Tour and Euro Tour. It's crazy, and I suppose it could be time for someone like Nathan Aspinall, who, again, he could be in the Premier League still. It looks like he probably will be going price over him. But with no distraction from the Premier League this year now, and a player who isn't doing so well on the Pro Tour and Euro Tour, Nathan Aspinall now, to be fair, he's now got a good opportunity where, like, okay, I'm going to lose a lot of prize money this year from the match play. Now's my chance to then up my game on the Pro Tour and the Euro Tour. To be fair, on the Euro Tour, Aspinall was a seeded player. Obviously, last year he wasn't a seeded player, so he was constantly playing Thursday to Friday, which you could tell was affecting him. And I think it was affecting Luke Littler as well at some point as well, when he was still a non-seeded player. So I think the fact that he won't have the Premier League to deal with this year means he could give the European Tour at the very least a better go than what he was before. The European Tour, obviously Aspinall, he is still clearly a better stage player than he's a floor player. And the European Tour technically is still a stage tournament. Obviously not massive, obviously there's loads of them throughout the year, but he's still got that presence on the stage, which could play into his hand, so there's that. Anyway, I'm rambling now. I'm just talking shit, so I'm gonna end this video now. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts. Who do you think will hold on to the prize money? Who do you think will fall down the rankings? Who do you think is going to be the major winners this year? I'm intrigued to see you guys' thoughts. Anyway, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time.